Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, Logan Silva family. We are back once again. Today we're doing a reaction to Just Pearly Things, entitled "Pearly quickly shuts her down for saying this." Anyways, you know that's for clickbait. We all fall for it, but we're gonna listen to Just Pearly's podcast. Well, this is like 8 minutes long, so let's see how it goes.
Our options are very, very limited. So even if a man's getting rejected, at least he knows, okay, fine, I can find another woman who is maybe like a woman that I'm interested in. But for a woman, it's very, very difficult. I feel like the options for men are very, very low.
It is not difficult. You just go outside.
It's true, but it's like, for me, it's not going to be a guy that I want.
But whose fault is that? Isn't that your own fault? Because that's your standard.
It's definitely not my fault. I'm not settling for anybody that I'm not attracted to or I don't want.
Absolutely, I agree.
Women are picky. I tell you that much. Women are picky. Young lads, stay away from girls like that. I'm telling you, stay away from girls like that. Women are picky. And obviously, like, I don't get it. Why do so many girls think that guys can get girls like this? You know, obviously it's easier for a woman to get a guy than a guy to get a girl. You'll be surprised the amount of boys, men who can't even get a woman. You'll be extremely surprised, you know.
We need better options, so yeah, I think you should keep
the men need to level up.
But then, don't you think the women need to level up? I mean, how many
women are leveling up?
I'm leveled. What percent of women have cookbooks? What percent of women are homemakers? What percent?
And that is one of the things as well. Women are not all, some, you know, are not willing to improve themselves. Okay. Women do improve themselves when it comes to education and other things that benefits them, but they do not try to improve themselves in terms of trying to get a husband or trying to understand men. On the other hand, not all women, some women, again, like I always say, there's never 100% of something, but some women majority of women, not some, but majority of women, they only try to improve in the areas that benefits themselves, not in the areas that needs work, in terms of finding a husband, you know, in terms of improving in the areas that won't benefit them. But then again, trying to find a husband, it will benefit you as a woman. But on the other hand, men in general try, we are always trying to improve. Majority of guys, we're always trying to improve in terms of we're always trying to learn how to get a girl, how to improve ourselves, our physical, our bodies, our pockets, you know, mentally, spiritually, just so we can be better in society. And we're always trying to improve ourselves in terms of trying to find a woman. But on the other hand, most girls, they're not trying to improve themselves. They're not trying to learn to understand men, you know. And that it's a shame, really, you know.
And women really work with kids and can be good mothers. But there's percentage, but you have to find your percentage. What? Go ahead.
You just have to find your percentage.
You have to find your percentage?
You have to find it. There's women out there you just have to find.
Yeah, but is it common?
But that's for a certain type of man. There are some men that like boss babes who have businesses. Who
No.
There are 100%.
Bums.
There are
broke men. That's who you did. That's who you did.
So you don't think men like women that are boss babes?
Men don't give a shit about our money.
Exactly.
They literally don't care. It's like okay, have a guy ever told you about a shoe collection and you're like, oh, that's cool, but you don't really care. That's how men view our money. They don't care. It's nothing to them.
But you proved the point what you said just now, though, because what you're saying is that you could walk out, theoretically, you know, hypothetically, you could walk out and get some guy, maybe come and chat you up or whatever, but you're looking for a certain percentile of guy.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying, oh, the you know, this group of guys who might hit on me randomly in West London, I don't care about them because I want this top tier. And that's the thing. And I'm not saying that's a bad. I mean, that's absolutely everyone's prerogative. But at the same time, I think a lot of guys are finding it increasingly difficult in this dating marketplace. You know, because women are the gatekeepers, basically. You know.
So I'm curious, because I hear this a lot. Like, I'm not going to get a guy that's not on my level, or is that what you said? I don't want to misquote you.
Yeah, I just don't want to be with a guy that's just not up to the standard that I want.
So when as women do we lower our standards and decide that they're too high? If we don't, if all the guys we're talking to don't live up to the standards that we want, when do we lower them?
When you're getting old and there's no more time left. When your body clock is giving up and you can't have children.
So 90% of your eggs are gone by 30. So at what age would you say that women should start lowering their standards? Because
that would be 30 then, if that's the case. I need children.
Yeah, like it's crazy how most women are so blind to the fact that their husband that they need are actually in the friend zone. You know, majority of the guys that girls put on the friend zone are actually the husband material, but because women are so picky sometimes that they go in the wrong direction and choose the wrong guys, and then later on in life they grow up with this resentment of men, and you know, hating men for no specific reason, because in your youth you were picking the wrong guys. You know what I mean? And yet you still like the guys that are suitable for you, you're keeping them in the friend zone. Stop being so picky.
Do you know what I mean?
Because it's geriatric pregnancy starts at 35.
Wow.
So I think a lot of times, like women, we think our biological clock is a lot longer than it really is.
You freeze your eggs.
That's also an option, yeah.
Yeah, but I can't remember the stat off the top of my head, but it doesn't work out for a lot of women. They kind of sell us that dream.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember what % of women actually get pregnant, but it's not as high as you think after geriatric pregnancy.
I think the other way round, it's only about 50%. If a guy freezes his sperm,
oh wow,
it's like a 50-50 shot basically, whether it's gonna work or not.
I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
This one in the red hair, I don't trust her. I know I'm being judgmental, but as a man, my energy is like, she does not look like wife material. I'm sorry, I have to say it, but that's what I'm here for anyways, to do this type of reaction and give my manly perspective. Let's put it that way. I know I'm pausing too much, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guess which one there seems more like the wife material? Just guess. Funny enough, see the girl in grey on far right? She seems more like a wife material, and she hasn't even said nothing yet, but simply because of her appearance alone, guys who are looking for a wife will most likely choose her, simply because of her appearance, her body language, and the way she's carrying herself.
But no one can help who they're attracted to. I mean,
exactly.
You can't say to somebody, well, you know, it's very hard to say to somebody, look, you should lower your standards. Because we are attracted to who we're attracted to, and that's just the reality of it, isn't it?
I'm curious, would you guys rather be like, so at 60, 65, would you rather be by yourself or be with someone you're not attracted to?
Be by myself.
Be by myself, yeah.
Cats?
Really?
Hold on, let me rewind this. Hold on 1 second. Let me rewind. I want to see who said be by myself, because the girl in grey on the far right, in the back, that I said is a wife material, I don't think she's answered it.
Attracted to.
Be by myself.
Be by myself, yeah.
Cats?
Really? No kids? Because to me, it's like, I'd rather be with someone I'm not attracted to.
She's just going along with what
100%.
everybody's saying.
I would feel like my life was like a failure if I didn't have kids.
No, I'm not looking for companionship. If it's
Right.
real.
You see, it's easy to say be by myself when you are at your prime, when you're still looking good. But once you reach that age where beauty, you can't use your beauty to not to manipulate but to determine your relationship status, you're basically in trouble. You know, if Pearl was to ask that question, say to a 50-year-old, they wouldn't have the same answer as these girls. You know, these girls are they're basically answering without actually thinking about the question. They're actually answering thinking about the present. They're thinking about the amount of DMs they're getting right now. They're thinking about how good they look right now, believing that in 20 years they're still gonna look like this, you know, and then realizing that, okay, I can't find anybody to give me children 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you know. And I'm not saying all women wants to have kids, but majority do.
It's not.
What?
If it's real, it's not.
What were you gonna say? You definitely want kids.
Yeah.
I know. So I'm asking if you had the two options, and you would still pick by yourself.
You said at 65. You just told me the age was 35, so...
No, but I'm saying, so in one scenario at 65, you have a husband you're not attracted to and children and a family, and in the other one, you're by yourself. So I'm saying, like, as women, we keep saying we need our standards to be on a certain level, right? And I hear this is super common. It's not just you. So it's like, but when do we start lowering them if the men aren't meeting them? Because what's our other option? Buy a dog.
I'm not going to give you kids, I'll tell you that. I think that's where it goes with the beauty beyond the eye. You see, you start, you know, you don't find them attractive first, and you really start liking them after.
But you see what I'm saying when I say that? Like, I think that men have higher beauty standards than women, like that they have to live up to, because it's such a small percentage of men that we're even attracted to. Everyone here said they're picky.
But don't you feel like it happened to us first as women? We had to level ourselves up to be a certain way.
When do you think we had to level ourselves up?
I'd say about 20, 30 years ago.
I feel like we've gotten worse in the last 20 to 30 years.
See? So about 20, 30 years?
No, but I don't think we've leveled up. I think women have leveled down.
Oh,
Yeah, but-
I don't agree with that.
No, I think you're right, but I think what probably, from my perspective, I reckon what happened was that there was that pressure on women to be, you know, you've got to look amazing all the time, and blokes like back in the sort of the 80s and early 90s and stuff, guys didn't really have to make an effort. You know what I mean? It was like you could have a beer going, just like whatever football shirt on, and just like, oh yeah, she's nice, and you know, it's very laddie kind of thing.
I've seen pictures of guys from like I saw beach pictures from like before the 60s. Everyone was hot back then. I thought they were so much more attractive.
Well, I think,
and the women, they were. I feel like something switched in the food or something.
But maybe just in England then. But no, I know what you mean, because I've seen pictures in like Brazil and stuff, like from the 70s.
No, I'm talking the U.S., like California pictures.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Well, I from my perspective, what I've seen, I think that standards for men have got higher in the last sort of 10, 15, 20 years. That's just my sense of it. And maybe women's had to have been higher in the past, but it like I don't know. It doesn't really help anybody, does it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think now, because of the thirstiness of guys and the fact that, as we've said, I mean, guys are less selective than women. I think guys are now less picky than they were. Do you know what I mean? I think
guys are more thirsty now and less picky than we were, simply because now it's harder to get women. It's harder to get women, and it's harder to find a wife. I think that's what it is, you know?
There are many guys who will take a woman who's perhaps less attractive than he would have preferred, because he thinks that's his only option.
I think ultimately is finding someone you're compatible with. So all these standards, it's like, what is a standard? You know, if it's a good guy, if it's a good girl, and it's like, you know, it's compatible to you, it's got the same values, same, you know, principles, and you get along well, and you have the same, you know, goals in life. I think that's what can be defined as a, you know.
Go ahead.
I mean, that was the end of the podcast, where it was just a short clip But what she was just saying about being compatible, I am not a strong believer of being compatible, because the reason for that, I find that having a compatibility is dangerous in the sense of people change. People change. You or her or him might change later on in life. Yes, we're compatible now, but I can change in 2 years time or 3 years time. I could go through some mad experience, personal experience in terms of family, or she can go through some mad experience, but then it's like her personality or how her goals or her objectives or her character has changed along the way, and I'm there in a relationship. I can't cope with this. You are not the person that I fell in love with, so this is why I think being compatible is I don't think it's 100% thing that you can go by in order to be with somebody, because I feel like, I'm a strong believer of opposite attracts. Because if you get with somebody and the two of you are different, it's just like energy, negative and positive. But I'm not saying in the sense of being in a relationship the two of you gotta be, one person gotta be negative and the other person gotta be positive. No, what I'm saying is, yes, you two have the same objective, but as people, the two of you have to be different, because as you grow in the relationship, the two of you are changing together. Not one person remaining the same person, same goals in life, but remaining the same personality, but the other one, after 2 years, their personality and the way they view life is changing, has changed. But when the two people are not compatible, but they have the same objectives in life, and they go through life experiences together, I find it that it's easier to accept one another, because you've met each other from the perspective of not being compatible. I don't know whether that makes sense, but I don't go with being the whole thing of being compatible, because relationship is hard, and if the other person changes, many people give up. Many people, the best thing to do is get a divorce because so and so he changed, he's not the same person. Of course, people have to change. You cannot maintain the same person year in, year out, But yeah, Logan Silva family, don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy once again. We're gonna keep doing this. Stay blessed.